The next topic we've got here is audits, aka process reviews. I guess simply, what is an audit? Maybe why would someone be picked, and how can you handle it?
So there can be triggers. We'll talk about some of those. It can be completely random. And the whole Canadian tax system is based on self-reporting, right? So the government doesn't know a lot of this stuff. You're reporting your own personal tax situation.
Yeah.
And they have to test and confirm some of this stuff to keep people honest, essentially. So a lot of the times it'll be, there's common ones, high medical expenses, certain things that are unusual. I'm sure their system is sophisticated enough where it immediately upon filing will run ratios and pick out certain things that are abnormal from prior years and so on. And most often you get a letter in the mail. You see that nice brown envelope that everybody loves taking out of the mailbox. And it's a CRA written letter that's hard to understand, and if you haven't seen one before, you're usually not even sure what they're asking in the first place.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just, hey, we've picked this amount. You claim medical of X. We need to confirm that, and you've got to put together all your receipts that you claim that add up to that amount and send them all in. You can do a lot of this electronically and submit through their website to make it a lot easier.
Yeah.
So if you commonly have large medical expenses in your family, then knowing that that's a common one to be reviewed by CRA. It's not a full-blown audit. It's a simple review where they just pick one thing or two things and they say, okay, you claim this, show it to us.
Yeah.
And you just have to send it in, and usually you'll get a letter back saying, okay, no, we've accepted it, no changes have been made. And it's just to keep people honest. And sometimes it'll be a little more aggressive from CRA, where they start questioning things and disallowing things, and a spider web ensues where it might link to something else, and then they're looking at a few more things. Moving expenses, any large credit, vehicle expenses, if you have employment expenses and you're writing off vehicle. There's certain other ones that seem to trigger it more. And then every year CRA seems to pick a couple that they really like to check on, and then they kind of mass send those letters out to check on what people are filing and why, and if they're allowed. Their letters are confusing and poorly written, and nobody likes reading them, and your blood starts boiling when you even open one of those brown envelopes. So the process can be simplified, and if you know what are they asking for, can I put it together and send it in? They give you 30 days, and you can usually request an extension. And even if it goes beyond that extension, not that I recommend pushing the limits, but you can usually still provide the support after the fact, and it's accepted. And, so it can be dumbed down and simplified and handled fairly. So
just for anyone, if you're going to have a big expense, just make sure you're hanging on to your paperwork. Otherwise, are there any reasons it might happen? Maybe someone doesn't make any large purchase that year. Is there anything that person could do to just make sure they're good, or is the risk pretty low?
It depends. If you just have tax slips, if you just have T4s and T5s and a few odd things, and you're not claiming anything unusual, you're probably not at high risk. If your employer doesn't file your T4 for you, and you submit it and you claim this income and this income tax withheld and this CBP, you might get one that wants to see that T4 because your employer never actually submitted it to CRA. So, but unless if there's nothing complicated going on, you're probably not gonna see one.